There are all types of innovators. Not all of them are the inventor type. Some made their mark when they took a stand for what was right. On this bus, history was made when one woman took a seat for what was right. This is the actual bus aboard which Rosa Parks changed the world of race relations forever. In the American South in 1955, segregated busing meant whites sat in the front of the bus and African Americans in the back. And if the bus was full and a white man entered, an African American was expected to give up his or her seat. One day in Montgomery, Alabama, an understated African American seamstress and trained civil rights activist named Rosa Parks refused to give up her bus seat to a white man.
He demanded the seat that we were occupying. The other passengers very reluctantly gave up their seats, but I refused to do so.
That's the voice of Rosa Parks herself, being played aboard the very bus she rode that day.
That day, December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks sat down and refused to give up her seat. She remained composed, being threatened by an armed bus driver who had the law behind him, and then was arrested and brought to jail and booked. That quiet, church-going woman stood up for her rights and was courageous all the way through it. That opened the doorway for Martin Luther King and his colleagues to start the Montgomery bus boycott.
This nonviolent protest inspired a 381-day boycott of the buses in Montgomery, which eventually led to the repeal of the city's law requiring segregation on buses. And Rosa Parks became an icon of the civil rights movement.
This bus is the most significant artifact collected by any museum of the modern civil rights movement in America. What it represents is a transformative moment in time.
Yes, the actual bus that Rosa Parks rode that day is here at the Henry Ford in Dearborn, Michigan.
We need that story to be told over and over and over again because it resonates for today. It has meaning for our world today, and we have to learn those lessons from the past in order to make a better future.
Without an ongoing effort to tell stories, they can be lost. And the bus itself has a story that was nearly lost. What year did the bus come here?
The bus came here in 2001.
And before that, where was it?
The bus was right outside of Montgomery, Alabama. It was on a farm, and it was actually being used as a storage shed, a tool shed, if you will. A man named Roy Summerford bought the bus in 1971, and he bought it from the Montgomery bus lines. And he knew at the time it was the Rosa Parks bus.
But that wasn't enough. The Henry Ford wanted to be sure that this was the bus, and after an extensive authentication process, they paid $427,000 at auction.
This is an article from a scrapbook that we acquired along with the Rosa Parks bus.
Inside a scrapbook owned by a bus company employee, the critical information was found, the bus number 2857.
So there you have that original signature of 2857, that matching that period of 1955, and then also the scrapbook with 2857. That's the signature that brought it together.
A bus perfectly restored, a metamorphosis from a rusted shell to a learning ground, and a nation transformed by a woman who stood up for civil rights when she remained seated